I'm not the biggest fan of racing games. I definitely have played some really good ones, and a lot of the arcade-based ones like Mario Kart I thoroughly enjoy. But since the Daytona 500 just passed as of the release of this video, I thought it would be a good time to play some of the more realistic racing games. Most of these I've at least tried, but I dug a little deeper into them for the sake of this video. So with that, let's get started. When talking about realistic racers, you can't have the conversation without mentioning the granddad of all the others, Gran Turismo. I had only ever done a few races before, but diving more into the game, I'm really impressed. The controls can be hard to get a hang of when you first start, but once it clicks, it really clicks. I really like the graphics, and although I know there are a lot of prettier games out there, I have to remember the generation it originally came out in, and with that in mind, it's super clean for PS1. If you haven't played the original, I can't really say there's a huge reason to go back to it, but it's really fun to pick up and play a few rounds if you get the chance. Need for Speed is one of the only racing series I absolutely love. I have played a number of different games before this, but Pro Street was one I had bought and hadn't played until the video. After having done so, I think it's quite different from the NFS games I'm used to. Not to say I didn't like it though, I thought the format of this game was really good. I'm just more used to the open world NFS. In terms of graphics, it was pretty, but fairly generic for the 7th generation. The biggest thing I can say against this game though were the controls. Now I know my DualShock 3 is getting worn down, but even with that the controls felt super stiff and I didn't feel like I had a ton of control over the car. This could have been the car I was driving, as I didn't get far enough to earn more cars, but it made the races a little tedious for me personally. I think I'm just going to go back to messing around in Payback and Unbound. I had heard of the Dirt games before, but had never played them. As to be expected, being the newest in the bunch, this was by far my favorite game. What especially shined in this game was the use of the DualSense controller. Every little thing you do and every ground type you drive over has a specific feel in the controller, making it so you really feel like you're experiencing what your engine is experiencing. Beyond the controls though, this is single-handedly one of the prettiest games I've ever played. Everything about the lighting and the detail in the scenery just makes me want to forget about driving in the race and pull over, looking at the car models and sky. I also really liked the announcers between events. I think they would get a little annoying over time, but for the amount I played, I think their presence enhanced everything quite well. If you're a fan of the more realistic side of arcade racers, be sure to give this one a shot. Racing games are most fun with friends, and that's about all I ever experience of the genre aside from Need for Speed. But I liked taking this quick look, and I think I will keep playing Dirt 5, as well as maybe look into getting some of the other games in the series. Should I look at more racing games? Do you have a genre you'd like me to look into? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.